Um, let's see here. Okay, I think I'm ready to get started. So let's build. Oh, I forgot to set up the freaking compiler. CD / users jack dlang dmd activate.bat and then code dev. Okay, so now build the latest version. Ooh. Oh, right. I was doing a keyboard test. Right. Okay. So here's the game. Working on a prototype is essentially a turn-based strategy game. And right now, I have this problem where the enemies, right now, these enemies are not in an alerted state. And so because of that, they're just, wandering around the level. But the problem is that there's no bounds on where they can wander to. So I try to, when I'm designing the level, like have some sort of idea of what the encounter is going to be. And by the time that you get there, they're heaven knows where. So the issue is we need to add some sort of way to create bounding boxes in the level editor for the... let me move the camera a little bit. Bounding boxes in the level editor that tell the AI where they can and can't wander in when they're not in an alerted state. So, how am I going to do this? I haven't thought about this too much. So, when I'm in the Entity tab, I want some sort of thing that says... I'm wondering how general to make this tool. Because I think I'm not going to care about generality right now. And I'm just going to do the simplest thing possible. So the first thing is that I want to fix is actually there's this weird bug. You see that the radio buttons here switch based upon which one is selected. That needs to be fixed. So that's step one. So others. Okay, so this is the... Did I not commit my stuff last time? Yeah, okay, that's nothing. All right. So let's go to... Where's the top? So this is the update function. Where is the top bar defined? Let's see here. Active tool, tile editing. This is the input handling. Top bar, here we are. Drop down menus. Tool selection. Is it the layout stuff that's... I think this is the problem. So let's try that out. Oh, the mouse pad is all screwed up. Okay. Okay, so now I come over here and... Guess that's not the problem. Okay. So, undo that. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is defining how the elements in the top menu bar are laid out. So we have a static column, which is 32, and then another one, 32. And those correspond to the drop-down menus. And then a dynamic row, which I'm assuming is going to be spacing. Should be spacing. Open the game back up. Yeah, it should be... Oh, I have this little signifier here. Okay. Okay, yeah, and then... That's so weird. Oh, right, because it's a dynamic column. Okay, the dynamic column just takes up available space. That makes sense. Okay, so we have this dynamic column, then 100, 32, 32, 32. We have 4 radio buttons. This is... Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Are these all considered one thing? It's been a long time since I wrote this code. Long time in internet terms, anyway. This was a couple months ago. Oh, you know what the problem is? Yeah, so the problem is I added this tool, and I forgot to adjust the adjust everything. Darn. Okay. So I'm just gonna have to do that, right? And that should fix it. Okay. On the game, level editor. Yeah, see, that was the problem. Add a new tool to the toolbar without adjusting the column layout. Whoopsie. That should be caught in some way. If there's more widgets than the available number of columns. Something to be investigated. I'm going to add a note for that to look into that later. So to do incomplete. Investigate an error message when the number of widgets in the is greater than the number of columns. Because that's almost always going to be an error. So it's just really helpful. Just automatically let me know about that. Okay, anyway. So we fixed that. So the next step is in the entity. Right, we need to add another spacing to this. Okay, so that is coming across on the... Making a lot of noise down there. Let's see if I can... Now does that fix it? Turned up the noise gate. Okay. So, anyway. Yes. Okay, so that's fixed. Now we need some sort of button over here, which is like add AI bounding box. It's going to look like this. And so this is different. This is a trigger volume. This is for like running scripts when an entity comes into the walks into the bounds of the trigger volume. So get rid of that. Oh, the delete doesn't work for that? Huh? That's another thing to not save. Okay, so anyway, so in the entity menu, we need a little button that says add new trigger. So let's add that. So I want to come down here. Entity editing. For that, a row, and it's going to be 32 pixels tall. Copy the code from the tile editing. Volume. This is what new bounding. But new AI bounding box. I want to push the undo state. Adding a trigger volume. I forgot to fix the formatting because it's code. Okay, so we want to add. We're going to need some sort of dynamic array on the game map data, which is going to hold all these bounding boxes. So let's do that. Game map. I wander in boxes. So then double check all the places we're utilizing this. Making sure that we are initializing allocating properly. Excuse me. There. Here as well. Boxes out there. Cool. Okay. We have this new dynamic array of, we're going to need a new type. That type is going to struct version. Well, what are we going to call it? AI bounding box, I suppose. It's going to need a version. And I suppose we just do the same thing. We need a tile position and a size. That makes that's that. And back in the level editor code. There. There we are. AI under bounding boxes, insert back. AI bounding box. Actually, auto box that box dot tile position, then box dot size will just bulk like vec2 by 2. Back. Now we need to draw these. So if we build the game right now, I expected not. So if we run the game right now and go into the level editor and then go to the end, have this button, new bounding AI bounding box. Click that. Crash. Why do we crash? The allocator is null. How is the allocator possibly null? One might ask. I thought we covered all the cases. Let's do a search for this. Code map. Map. Setting the allocator. Sizing map. Let's go in the debugger. Go in the debugger to the level loading code. Oh, you know what? I should double check. That was a lot of level editor. Oh. I read. Yeah, that looks good. Game map, load up. So let's run. Map data. Under boxes. Allocator is not null. Then when we load the level editor, we're back here. Again, the allocator is not null. Yet, somehow, the level editor call that button again. Yeah. Line 1218. Well, we get to here. Entity. Where is so game state? How is that possible? I don't get that at all. Covered all the sections. Not null just a second ago. What is going on here? Back up here. Enter. Run. Fine. Come back here. Here. Bum 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 bum. Allocator null. After the applies. Why? Has to be some sort of how we're hearing the data. Well, now we know. Updating. What? Oh, sorry, that's the game I'm looking at. Variable. Okay, map data. Null, null, null. Bam, 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 bam. Update. Step in. Wish I had some way to put in the debugger what the current oh, dropping frames. That's not good. Second there. But okay. Sorry. Anyway, I wish I had some way to print out what the current field were. I think I'm just gonna have to do that manually. So lies up here of right line. Okay. Run. Here. Bam. Okay. And console here. I should that. Um. Pressing right button. Sure. That's fine. Now we should have data. Okay. What are we on now? We are deserializing data. Oh, this is all the entities. Crap. AI. Oh, okay. Here we are. AI wander boxes. Okay. So, loaded version. Where do we go next? The new field added after the file was saved. Init the field in the case memory wasn't zeroed when allocated. Don't want to do that. I think we just removed this whole branch, honestly. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so just to recap, when we are deserializing a struct from disk data, where we have this thing where it's like if we have added this field as a and it's not in the data on disk, but it's on the struct definition. My initial thought was like, hey, it's good to just like zero it for you, um, just in case you're like mallocing it, and as a way to be like sort of safe. But I think that's the wrong idea. I think I should just do that. Discount. Okay. Okay, so now when we run the game, bam, 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 we have the allocator, and after the serialized call, we still have that allocator set. Fantastic. Get rid of this. Come back over here. Back in the level editor. Get rid of this break. Run. Excuse me. Entity. Add new bounding box. And then here, that is working. Over here in the game state. Game map, we still have the allocator, which is great. So, good. No crash. Now, nothing's drawing because we have no draw code for it yet. But we're successfully creating the data. And if I want to say, don't want to save. I don't want to save that to the disk when the potentially we're going to be changing data definition a whole bunch. We will test that later once we have a better idea about this. So, let's go draw this. So, how are we drawing trigger volume? Down here. I want to. Not right now. This code is older. Before I did some refactoring on the renderings. So I don't want to all of that. Actually, how are we doing the outline color stuff? I've forgotten. Um, Player input. Color of the tile outline. Back. Not in here. Huh. Play code? Stuff. Ah, there it is. It's outline. Ah, I see. Thinking about ways to refactor this. Right now, Nah, I'm not gonna touch that right now. Anyway, back to the level editor. So I want to copy. This is gonna um draw the bounding boxes that we've created. Down. AI want under bounding boxes. Box. I really got to box. Okay. Under boxes, box size, X and Y. Okay. Sense. Okay, so we should be drawing the boxes now. Run from entity new. There it is. Okay, cool. Now we just need. So I want. Well, actually, down in the. Yeah, so we need a variable which is essentially like which one are we editing, and which one to draw the move. Come down. Bars. Int. One. Active. AI bounding. Box index. I got rid of this. Back in the okay. Or actually no, because greater than -1. That's right. Now we need to come down to this function, which gets the it calculates the position of the little move control on the screen, and then we need to say we're in entity editing. Else, if active greater than -1, almost the exact same. Grab box is a tile position. That all makes sense. Okay. Now we just need a way to mark when we click on a box. We want to say that we're editing. Well, we're going to have to make sure that we put priority on clicking on rather than a box. Click on an entity which is inside a box. We want to click on the entity box. We just need that priority. Okay. So, how are we doing? And with dropping frames just every once, very annoying. I pay a lot of money for my internet connection. Anyway. Okay, so how are we doing this sort of thing for the input handling code? We're just doing a standard bounds check for all of them. What's the point of this? So if we clicked on something, why are we doing this again? Mouse position. Oh, I see. I see. Okay, so this is separate. This is, did we click on a box versus did we click on the move? I see. On move. It's always nice. It's just a nice time saver. Whenever you come across a piece of code and it takes you like a second or two to remember why you did something, just make a very short comment, because like this way of that sounds obvious, but this way of writing comments is way better than preemptively writing descriptive comments, because you're actually writing comments on code that you know for a fact took you a second to understand when you came back to it, rather than like saying like really obvious and clutter comments. So did we click on any? Okay. Okay. We're gonna need all of this. We're gonna have to come back up here. This code is pretty complicated. We're gonna have to be pretty careful. So input one press. Wait. Okay. Input was pressed, and if the mouse position was inside the canvas, which is our drawing surface, so this is the same sort of logic, we just factored slightly differently. We want to come down here and want to move this down here and make sure we still do this logic. So I want to say eventually, if we didn't click on anything, here our current selection. Change this. Clicked. Oh my gosh, that Alt key. I think it's broken. Okay. Clicked on AI box. We should already have this. Yeah. Get rid of this. If the mouse position is inside active true. Yes, we want that. Okay, that makes sense. This logic here was moved up here. Good girl. Okay. We're doing the collision detection stuff here for entities, and then we're doing it for the bounding boxes, and then we need to this is there. okay, so we need to. I don't think we need anything else actually. We can just say clicked on entity, false, and clicked on AI box, false. Okay. Okay. I think that's all I do in this section. So what we've done is we've added this collision detection for the mouse press, checking if we're checking on the entity first. There's one more thing actually. Not do this if we clicked on an entity. Want to have priority for clicking on entities. So just don't check for bounding box clicks because we want to give priority to the entity editing stuff because that's more used. Okay. So for now, click on the okay. Now on the move control. I just want to double check something in logic here. So yeah, okay. So our default state is the control's not on the screen, but we are updating here. I forgot this. Okay, fixed. Backup. So entity editing state. Oh gosh, there's a lot more here that I didn't know. Here's the thing. If we do a drag event, so right now, the level editor, you can click and drag to select multiple entities. If we do that, I kind of want to clear the selection of bounding box selection. So let's do that. This is a new drag event. Okay. Drag logic. Okay, case moving. This is the case where you've clicked on the move control, this thing right here, and we've clicked on it and the mouse is still down. So if the input's not down, if editing. Oh, so this is like check. Right. Tiny little optimization that I did. Number of entities. So we just want to say else if active bounding box index is greater than -1. We're in the moving state. Then thing down here. Copy this. AI wander bounding boxes. Active box. I already have the. Ah, okay. Okay. That should actually be all we need. Find 5, 7. So weird. I've sworn up here. Yeah, there it is. Calculate. I bet we're recalculating the tab position of the mouse a whole bunch. Let's actually do it. Boom, boom. Yeah. Yep. Don't need this. That should be. Is auto. Back. I shouldn't be changing multiple time like this. Great way to bugs that are hard to figure out where I introduced but for a penny pound, right? All right. And I implicit expression. One I'll pause. Shadowing. Get rid of that. Turn. Shadowing. Shadowing. Boy, I was recalculating a bunch of die bounding. That should be now. Forgot to close the game. Of course. Okay. Okay. In the entity code, over here, new AI bounding box. Click. Drag. Look at that. Isn't that great? And then if we come over here, still drawing it, what we want. But we're not doing anything there. But if I click on this, nothing happens. Ah, the click detection is screwy. There. Click there. Not click there. But works for them. Okay, so now have this bounding box. We need to do two things now. First of all, we need to add some UI so that we can change the size of this. And then second of all, we need to somehow in the user interface tie an entity bounding box. I think that's actually Let's do that one first. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we need some sort of structure. There it is. Some sort of ID. What's the type ID for the size T? Let's do the same. Okay, so we need an ID because we need to tie it. Serialize this very easily. So I want a constant ID across runs. How am I going to set this? Right now in the game map structure, have a counter. Where is it? Not that one. Oh, it's in the yeah, current ID, which is like it's the what's the next ID going at a new one. I wonder if we should just add a new like that. Int current all right, let's ID. It's verbose, but I don't really care. Good enough. So let's bump version because we're adding a new field. Then what's next? We have this ID that we're saying need this, and we're going to go back to the level editor. We're going to go back to that button that we added the bounding box. Where was that? Wrong function. Okay, so we want to say box.id. We need entity. Should already have that. Current ID. Yeah, games. Wow. Okay. Plus. Okay. I'm just thinking about the user thing. We're gonna want another panel on the sidebar. So like when we come over here, whoops. Not good. Please. You pressing F5. Okay. All right. Let's try that again, shall we? Okay. So when you're in the level editor, right, and you click on an entity, you get this panel of all these details about the entity. So I actually want to come over and make a new, right? Okay, so let's do that. So we want to bring a nice type. All this under bounding box. We have the button. Then we want to say something. I want to display the detail. So do the same sort of thing that we have down here. Right? We have a label. In this case, ID. Excuse me. Where are we getting this entity? So if active greater than -1, grab this. Game, game app. I ID. That all looks good. For dynamic, that should just work actually. But actually the first thing we need is size. I'm gonna add a new variable here. We're gonna say entity types. This place and mutable. Just doing a little bit of code cleanup here. So sidebar height. Just thinking about how I want to structure this. I think I want to say wonder boxes section. I wanted this to kind of be small. Let's do like, if I suppose that might be good. This, that there. What we're gonna do then is all of the copy them down here. Want that. I think that's what we want. Bam. Okay. And it's broken. Oh no. Oh wait. Oh, oh, oh. That's interesting. Must have not closed something properly. Probably I forgot the group end call. Oh, yes. And I forgot that. And again, let's add it to that here. Add it to do. Add, insert when forget close and open. Okay. What about that? Okay, yep. So new bounding box, click on it, ID equals, look at that. Then we come over here, and that, and that should have that. That's interesting. I suppose we only did it here on the drag event. So if I do this, yeah, then it's clear. Okay. There. There. Copy. And choose if we want to do that. Okay. Come back and run. Go over here. Entity. Boom. We want to say new AI bounding box, and we want to click on it. Why aren't we on it? When I click on this entity, close. That the. What if I put the bounding box here? Click on the entity. Okay. I can't click on the box. Not possible to. No, and clicked on both of them. Watch. So I'm not clicked. I'm not selected on a bounding box, but I am selected on here. There. So I'm selected on both of them. That shouldn't be possible. Insert. Only two. Yet somehow. We rebuilt, right? Huh? Not sure what to make of that. I bet you. I think I'm gonna take a 5-minute break. Audio back. Okay. That noise. Jump. Okay. That should be better. Okay. We want to duplicate this and do this. Duplicate that. Rid of this. Add text. It's just, yeah, okay. Is there a way? I'll worry about that later. Okay. Come on. Lay down. Good girl. Want your bone? 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 Good girl. Okay. Did Musk actually drop that expose on Hunter Biden? Oh, he did. Shit. I'll have to read all that later. But that does not sound very good. Okay. To say the least. Okay. All right. While I was taking a break, I realized what the problem was, which is often the case when you walk away for a second. Problem is that we have the clearing on one way but not the other. We're clearing the active index. We're clearing the active index when we're clicking on a entity, but not when we don't clear the active index for the entity when we're clicking on the bounding box. So let's do that. So let's see. This. I want to do this. Yep. Okay. That should be all we need to do. Run. Boom. Boom. Come over here, Entity tab, click on this. You see the entity details over here. New AI bounding box, click on it, move it over here, click on the entity, click on the box, click on the entity, click on the box. Look at that. Okay. Now the next step is to tie entities to this box. The way we're going to do that is, again, we're going to do the simplest thing possible. All I'm going to do is down here, I'm just going to have a drop down of all of the wandering bounding boxes in the level, and you're just going to select it by ID. Now, it's not the most like user-friendly solution, but this is internal tooling A. B, I don't want to add a bunch of new drawing code because, like, in tiled, you can do this thing where you can associate objects with other objects, and there's just like this whole interface for it. But it's like I don't have time to decode all that. I mean, this is just internal tools. Like the more important thing right now, the reason I'm doing all this is because I eventually want to be able to design a freaking level, and I haven't been able to do that yet because I have to do all these ancillary features. So many things go into the concept of a properly functioning RPG level that all need to be working really before I can even make it halfway fun. And this is one of them. So I want to make this very, very simple. So let's go over to here. So we're going to say items items inventory. We're gonna. We have an AI thing yet? So this is interactable data. This is inventory data. No, we do. So let's grab the AI data if it exists for this entity. Component AI data. Okay. If AI data isn't null, want to have a drop down, so let's copy this. This is going to be, oh, we need, hold on, we need to, this. Okay. The label is going to be bounding box. Wandering bounding box. We first need a label, which is none. And it's not going to do anything. And then we need to loop over all of the bounding boxes in the map. Eight buttons for all of those. But in order to do that, we need to do some string formatting. So we need to create a buffer. Then we need a writer, which is going to be a slice of the buffer. So formatted writer. The string is just going to be the ID. You know what? Let's just make it obvious. Then null. Then box.id. Formatted like that. Then pass buff.pointer to there. Okay. This just creates the UI. The UI doesn't do anything yet. Can I implicitly convert? Oh. Bam. Okay. No error. Awesome. Okay. Run the game. Is the noise gate too low? No, that looks fine. Okay. I don't know what that was about, but over here, we need to create a new bounding box for this test. Why is this so hard to click? What's going on here? There it goes. Okay. So that's interesting. Oh, we forgot to set the width. Okay, let's do that. Right? That look good? No, that's not. No, that should be fine. Okay. Okay. here, new bounding box, click on the entity. Why aren't we getting anything? Very bizarre. Okay. First of all, I made a mistake. This isn't what we want. We want a NK label context. And we want to put that there. We sort of want to do this. You know what? Just for now, just do this. Because I wanted to debug, why is none of this appearing? Is it because I forgot? Okay. Let's try that. Label is not, oh, I forgot the alignment. NK text align left. Run. Okay. So entity, click. Wandering box, none. Okay. But if I create a new wandering box and then click and then bam, look at that. Okay. So that part's working now. So let's clean up the UI a little bit. So we want to say get this, then do this something again. Okay. We essentially want to do, well, first of all, we need a piece of data on the AI. So let's go over to our entity data. And then we're going to come down to our AI component and we're going to say, we have this, yeah, I don't know. Uint wandering bounding box ID. Wondering if the wandering bounding box data, which is on the game map, shouldn't be a hash map. Well, how many logically, like, are we going to have more than 100 of these on a level? I highly doubt it. I don't think it, no, it's not worth it at that point. Let's just stick to the array. Okay, so wandering bounding box ID on here, and then at the same time, you need to go back to the game map, go back to the entity, level entity data, and down. Version 6, we are going to uint, we're going to call it the exact same thing. Well, I'm gonna make it a little bit more obvious. Okay, version 6. What's next? Okay, so back in the level editor, we are going to oh shoot, no, that can't be a uint because we need an invalid state. Crap. Yeah. So where did I originally have the ID? The ID is back over here. So this needs to be an int. I mean, it should be fine. I highly doubt we're going to have on a level 2 million bounding boxes. We'll be fine. We'll be just fine. Okay. So integer ID. Okay. And then back over here, int. Okay. And the reason we need to do that is so we can say we're going to need some way to spawn this as -1. How am I going to do that? I don't think I can do that, actually. Problem is, this is the exact same problem I had earlier in the stream. Because you need to assume that this whole struct is going to just be zeroed. You cannot do default initialization like you have in D. Because typically in a D structure, what I can do is something like this to set the default value for a parameter, but you can't do that because this data is coming from disk. You know what? Since I think I can get away with this. I think I can get away with assuming that 0, because typically I make -1 the invalid case. I think I can get away with 0 being the invalid case here because of the way that I implemented. Where was that value? This. Okay, I'm going to make this really explicit. Important. 0 is the invalid case in the serialized data to show that an entity does not have a wandering box created with it. Therefore, the first wandering bounding box created needs an ID of 1 and not 0. So increment before we assign and not after. Okay. Yeah. Where was that other code that we were just working on? Here it is. Okay. So if level entity data, this one, right? Where is this coming from? Okay. A dot AI does not equal 0. Write to the writer, box ID, colon, none. Okay. Then we come down here and we do the same thing. But instead, now what we're going to do is we're going to add the logic for actually setting this value in the serialized data. So 0, and then down here, this. Cannot implicitly... Ah! Yeah, I hate that. Where did I add this? Right after alerted sock range? Alerted... That's a problem. Alerted sock range. Okay. So back down here. No. What was this one? Here. 0. Okay. Entity, click. So we want a new bounding box. Okay, and then click here, and then we want to say we forgot to put it on there. Whoopsie doodle. Okay, back to the level editor. So buff dot pointer. Run. Entity. New bounding box. This one. Come over here. That's special. Why is it? Why are you the way you are? Rid of a lot of these down here. So level entity cannot be found. BS. Yeah. I thought the default initialization of an integer was 0. But for some reason, it is displaying as the minimum integer value. Okay, so I successfully set the version stuff on here, right? Level entity data, version 6. Okay, that should be fine. That all works. Just gonna copy this. Close. Run. Run. Right. It's a pointer. So I want to dereference that pointer so we can print out the data. Okay. Run. Entity. Bam. Okay. Back over here. Why? Negative 2 million. Why? Oh. Yep, this is the same problem as the start of the stream. Because we're no longer initializing this memory. Dang it. Crap. So what's happening here is we've mallocked the memory. So we loaded the file from disk, right? And we put that into memory, right? And it's just a binary data that we've taken from disk. And then we feed that to our deserialization function, and it's just going to read that memory, and you know, it's also the deserialization function is then mallocing a buffer. At some point, we malloc the game state data, right? The game map data, rather. And malloc does not clear the memory that you ask for. What to do? Okay, so here's the problem. Initially, the thought is like, well, why don't you just, because like the problem is over in the game map data, we want to set the allocators on these things, right? So that when we're deserializing the data, it takes the deserialized data and puts it in these dynamic arrays, and those dynamic arrays are backed by the allocators that we want. The question is, the initial question is, well, why don't you just do this? Why don't you just move those after that so that you can just zero the data that you're given from malloc, and this is all hunky-dory? Well, the problem is you can't do that because we're moving the data from the data that was on disk into these dynamic arrays, and the dynamic arrays need to be backed by these allocators before we call the deserialization function. So it needs to be beforehand. But if you do that, then you're going to come into here, and before we had this thing where we're saying like, okay, if you have a field, right, and the data is not on disk right now because the field was added in a new version of the deserialized structure, the structure that we have. So like over here, like we've added this new field because we just added it. That's not going to be on disk, right? So what do you do in that case? Well, you can just zero it out. But again, we can't do that. We can't do that either because we ran into the bug where when we did that, we overwrote this line because we were setting the pointer to the allocator, and this was zeroed out by this line here because this field right here was a new field. So what to do? What to do indeed? So I can keep adding special cases, right? I could just say if it's a numeric type, like if it's an integer, a float, a double, or a real, then we can set it to 0. But again, we're just adding more special cases. I think I'm going to do that for now. Because I don't have a philosophical idea of what to do in this case, in general, right? So I'm going to remove this. Excuse me. And then I think so. Deprogramming. Documentation, library, standard, traits. Sorry, I'm just checking Twitch, and again, I'm not appearing in the freaking thing. What's up with that? Well, if I search for this, do I appear? Search. Yeah, there I go. Whatever. I can't worry about this right now. I'll think about this later. So anyway, is numeric. Let's just do that. Rid of this. Actually, yeah. Is numeric. Wait, is it T? Field type. Okay. Cannot of type double to. Are you for real? What? Oh, because this isn't a static if. This is and it needs to. That's right. That's right. Okay. So is there something like, you know what? You know what? Screw it. Does float, double, real, int, uint. Nope. How about this? forgot to close the game again. Get rid of this. I forgot to recompile the game. Okay. Entity. Click on you. Right. Okay, so new bounding box. Over here. None. ID 1. Save. Close the game. Reload. Come over here. You. ID 1. Hey, look at that. Okay. Now there's several more features that we need to add. Feature number 1. We need to make sure that before we save the data, because what we could do easily is I come over here and, I come over here and I delete this, and this is still set to 1. So we have this validation function. So what is this doing? This is actually saving it, right? Okay, so we need, let's say, go through all of the all the AI wander bounding boxes and check if the IDs are still valid. Okay, so this validate entity function, what are we doing in there? You sort of need this. And we need to say data. So this is going to be all events squared loop, and that's just fine by me. Ref data. Nope. Okay. Why is this still here? Oh, because I forgot to set the name. So the name that we need is box. So if box.id equals e dot break. No, continue. Okay. Right? So we're going through all the entities, and then we're double checking the ID on the entity. You know what? Just for my aesthetic choice. If we don't continue, we're going to come down here and we're going to say the ID is going to be equal to 0. Right? Just zero that out. Okay, that part's done. Honestly, we sort of need to do this for a lot of things. to do add logic here to double check that all of the items to give in the level entity data are still valid. To maybe. We'll look in on that later. Right now, I just want to finish all these features. Mr. Simpson says, bro, how many years did you have to study to be a neuroscientist? I don't know if that's a joke that I just don't understand. I'm just a developer. Sorry if I don't get the joke. Okay, anyway. What were we doing? Okay, yes. So we validated the data in the entity file before we saved. The next step is we need to add some UI controls in order to change the size of the bounding box. So like over here, if you add a new trigger volume and you click on it, you can change the size like this, right? So we're just going to do the exact same thing. So I'm just going to copy pasta that code. Trigger editing. Trigger function. All right, let's just get this whole thing. Bam. Come back up here. Let's see here. You can get rid of this debug print now. Where are we going to put this? I think up here, actually. Right? No, this is the entity data. What am I thinking? Here. Okay. Height, position. Right. So we're going to have to take this, and I want to say AI bounding box pointer box is equal to that. You take the address of that. So just come back down here and just say box, 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 box. Okay. I think that should all work. Let's just specify that this is the tile position. Okay. I think that should work. Back over here, run. Okay, so entity, you have this bounding box. You're tied to that. Up here, oh, there's not enough room. But, hey, look at that. You can increase its size, and then I'm going to move it back over here. I'm going to save, and then I'm going to close the game. I'm going to reload the game. Run, bam, over here, entity. Look at that. That is pretty darn neato. Changing that height's very easy. So just there. Okay, and then actually I want to come over to you and set that for you as well. Okay. So now, thing to fix up here. Go to here. Just double that in size. Shoop. Boom. Boom. Okay. Entity. You. That's actually too big. It's fine. Okay. Okay, so we have in the data, we have this saved, that it's pointing to this box, right? Okay, so the next thing to do is when we're spawning the entity, we need to set that data. So we need to override this right here. So where is the code for the interactable? Because we have level entity data. Really? Where is this used? Load map. Why isn't it? That's kind of odd. Yeah, that's really odd. To do cleanup, we should move this code into the create entity function and just pass the level entity data into the function as a parameter. Okay. But not right now. Right now, we are just going to continue onwards. So we want AI data, and then AI component, AI component. AI data is not null. We want to set the AI data dot there equal to e dot AI. Okay. That should be all we need. So now the AI in the entity AI data in the entity manager has that information. So now the next step is to actually respect that data. So if we go over to the AI code, actions, wander. Okay, here we are. Why are you complaining? It's never modified. Really? Huh. This code is just broken. Yeah, this code would just go into an infinite loop if and crash the game if an AI was ever stuck. So we need to fix that. Less than. Oh, just less than length. Plus I. Okay, that's fixed. Oh, it's a do while loop. That's why. Alright, hell, we do this 3 times, so just frickin'. There. Okay. Okay. So we're finding a position. This code is kind of hard to understand. Honestly, I would write it like this. I would just say while I is less than neighbors.length, and then I would just say if not tile blocked, break. I think that's a lot easier to understand. You know what? Actually, we're just gonna say less than max tries. We're gonna say like enum max tries is equal to. Okay, so there's 8 directions you can go into. The probability that you'll select the same one. Let's just do 12. Okay. Grab this. Boom. Move this down here. This down here. Get rid of all this. I don't really want that. Random between right. Right. Yes. Okay, so now if I equals max tries, okay. So if I equals max tries, we're not doing anything, but otherwise do all that. Okay, so let's make sure that new code works before we add in the bounding box stuff. So let's go back here, run, and do this, do entity. Actually, you know what? This all seems to be working fine. Okay, what about over here? You doing your stuff? That all looks to be fine to me. Now, what happens if I take an entity, spawn a new entity, then I do this? Bang, 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 bang. Does the game crash? Let's find out. The game does not crash, which is awesome. Okay. Okay, so now we say new position. If I don't really like this. I don't like this function signature because we have to load the AI state and we have to load the AI component from the hash map, even though we already had that pointer earlier in when we were calling stuff. We're just not passing it down. I don't like it. I don't like it. But we'll live with it for now. AI data. AI component. So AI data is not null. So AI data, if AI data dot AI wandering box ID does not equal 0, for each ref box game state dot game map dot AI if it kind of sucks that we have to do this every turn, but I don't see another way around this, which isn't really hacky. So the hell with it. Let's just keep going. So if box, no, this equals box dot ID, then break inner loop. Okay, so bum 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 bum. We want to do something like, so package find nk in box. Here. So if isn't null. So if we had and new position dot x is greater than, wait a second, oh gosh, ugh. Okay, anyway, sorry, having a little bit of trouble focusing right now. It's kind of getting hard, late. Okay, I need to finish this up before I just lose all energy. Okay, so I know we did this collision detection stuff before. Whatever. So new position X is greater than or equal to the wandering box. So we need the box. Yes, okay. So the box dot tile position. No. Right? Bam, 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 bam. We need 4. And X is less than position dot X plus box dot size dot X. And its Y is greater than position dot Y, and it's less than Y plus box dot size dot Y. Okay. Okay, so if we have we want to take this and say immutable in box equals this actually no, we don't want to do that. So if we have a valid box but we're not in it, so we want to do this, I'm going to do that. Okay, that's what we need. Break the outer loop. No. Yes. So we're essentially saying this new position is no good. Right? So we want to continue the outer loop. That's what we want to do. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's what we need to do. So we're going through all the boxes in the bounding boxes in the level. And if we have one and the new position is not inside that box, continue. Why is this giving me an error? Yeah, that should be fine. Property, no property, yeah, for type const. Yeah, component. What is it? AI component. Where's the here? Okay. No property tile position. Oh, it's misspelled. Whoops. Okay. Run. Run. Okay. So over here. So for testing purposes, let's make the box smaller. And let's save. Bam. And it broke. Didn't work. Okay, why didn't it work? Open. Source. AI. Actions. Boom. One. So Box. Give 1. Okay. So, move position. You know what? Screw it. I just want to get this done before I go to bed today. So I'm going to cheat. Time to cheat. New position.x, new position.y. Box.tile. Tile position.x, .y. Then size.x, box.size.y. Okay. Whoops. Not what I wanted to do. That. Okay. Run. Bam. Wait. That's not what I wanted. Run. Step. Step. Run. Step. Oh, right. Oh. Then why wasn't this step in doing the... Ugh. Seems like it's actually working now. Over here. What is happening? Well, it's staying within the box, which is, you know, that's nice. It's always neat. But, the turn isn't stopping. Oh, shoot. So this continue is just completely skipping this. I think that'll fix it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so it's not an infinite turn anymore. I can move. And it looks like they are staying within their bounding box. So if I just hold down the pass turn button, it doesn't look like they can leave. Look at that. That's pretty cool, actually. I was able to get all that done. Okay. So, is there any other cleanup work that we need to do before I call it a night? Okay, so we have this UI on the bounding box. We can't delete it at the moment. Let's do that really quickly. So over in the entity editing So this is, yeah, okay, so this is the entity types. Down here, button image, editor trash, here we are. Oh, yeah, and we need to double check that the undo stuff is all working correctly. Ooh. That's another thing. Right now, we can't... Okay, so this function here, this creates the slider for the width and the height, right? That's modifying the state, but we don't have a way to do undo redo stuff because we need, in order to do the undo redo in our system, you need to mark, the state to say, hey, we're about to do something. Save the current state, right? So we need some sort of callback or something here. Actually, you know what? Let's go over here. Void. Step, increment per pixel. Context. No. Max step, increment per pixel. Variant. Yeah. Okay, so we just need to say over here, to do incomplete. This does not work with the undo state since we have we could hack it. We could do a before and after value, which might be the best thing to do. Implement the undo state stuff by checking a before and after value here on the size. Yeah, okay. That, okay. So anyways, what I was gonna do I still have that? No, I don't. Okay, editor trash, You need this, then ID here. Okay, button image trash can. So we don't need this. Don't need this. Why do we need this? Move entity. Oh, it's just translating the entity ID into a index. I see. That's simple enough. Oh, okay, so call it multiple. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. We'll just copy this. Right here. Just gonna paste and come over here. Dot boxes box if box.id equals. Oh, we need to call it something else. Yeah, box def. It's fine. Box def.id equals box ID. We're looping over it. Typically, you can't modify an array while looping over it, but since we're breaking immediately, it should be fine. So, remove I break state trash can. Okay. What else? Okay, so if I come over here and I see new bounding box and I click on it and that's broken, but if we click on it, it's, yeah, multiple things are broken there. So number one, what was the size of the button down here? Yeah. Just do that. And then the other thing is we want to set the active to -1. Okay. So let's try that. So again, new bounding box here, delete, and then if I redo, it doesn't work. Oh, duh. Undo, redo, undo, redo. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Okay. That's the other thing I need to double check. Are we pushing the undo state in all the areas? So back down here in the entity details. Push undo state. Push undo state. Okay, what else? Oh, when removing... Yeah, let's see if that works. So when we come over here and we move it, if I... Hey, that actually works. That's cool. I wasn't expecting that. I think that's everything. I think... So, I'm actually pretty happy with this. Let me so you bounding box 2, bounding box 2, save. So before I called it a night, I want to run through the level, because the problem beforehand was that these people were wandering all over the place. So let's run through the level. Did I forget to save? 2, 2, 2. Okay. So, let's actually play the game as if, well, let's just play the game. Okay, so we come over here, we grab the spell from the shrine, learned a new skill, which is neat. That's the message we added the other night. Push the boulder out of the way. We're gonna come in here, and they're gonna see me and come try to kill me. But I learned this brand new spell. Isn't that cool? Well, what happens when I push one into the other? Dead. Awesome. So I come down this hallway, right? And he sees me. And since we don't have the AI call-out stuff yet, he doesn't alert his buddy. But if I do this, boom, he's pushed out of the way. And he sees me, and he comes over. Oh, and so close. So close to it being cool. But for some reason, he was able to go into the frickin' pillar. Well, I'll just have to debug that tomorrow. Okay, but I got a lot done today, which I'm pretty happy with. Have this whole new concept, this whole new thing to the level editor, and have the AI code actually respect it. So I'm pretty happy with that. Go over to... All right. So I'm going to end it there. Stream's done.